Hey everyone, my name is Steve Chu, and I want to take a moment to talk about the Seller Summit, which is a conference that I put on every year that specifically caters to people interested in selling physical products online. Now, the ticket price is going to go up on February 1st, so I thought I'd just give a brief overview about the conference to kind of get you guys excited about attending. So a couple of things, I don't just go and throw a conference without standing out somehow. And when I decided to throw the Seller Summit, there were a couple of principles that I had in mind that I definitely wanted to have for my conference because I attend maybe 6 or 7 conferences every year. And what I've done is I've picked and chosen all the different elements of the conferences that I like and put them all into the Seller Summit. So here are some of the fundamental principles behind the Seller Summit. So first and foremost, I've gone to a whole bunch of conferences where the speaker gets up and gives an inspirational speech, and that gets me all fired up and everything. But sometimes I leave from those conferences without anything to do. I don't leave with any actionable items. And so the Seller Summit is specifically designed to be a learning conference. Every single speaker that I've chosen, they are deep in the trenches of e-commerce. They are actively selling on their own online store. They're not overseeing a business at 50,000 feet. They're actually in the act of selling, and they all run their own e-commerce stores. And unlike other sessions which focus on inspiration, my conference is purely based on actionable strategies. So every single session that I will provide you with actionable strategies that you can apply directly to your e-commerce business. The second thing about the Seller Summit that kind of sets it apart from other conferences is that it's going to be small and intimate. So this is not a large conference. Last year we cut off ticket sales at just 100 people. And the way you can think about it is you want to think about it as like small roundtable sessions and not huge auditoriums. I've been to a number of huge conferences that are like 3,000 people and more, and you get lost in the crowd. And I just did not want that sort of atmosphere for the Seller Summit. So you're not going to get lost in the crowd. Also, don't worry if you are a beginner. There are going to be different tracks that cater to both experienced sellers, advanced sellers, as well as beginners. There's going to be a slot for you. And the other thing I also wanted to emphasize is that at my conference, since it's going to be small and intimate, all the speakers, they're all very accessible. So last year, I and all the other speakers were just there to hang out. Now, I've gone to other conferences before where like the speakers, they just give their speech and then they go hide in their room. That's just not going to happen at the Seller Summit. And last year, most of the speakers, they attended the mixers and all the events, and you got really a chance to mingle with all the other attendees and all the speakers. And because it was small, you really got a chance to get to know everyone by the time the conference was over. And what was funny is, I remember last year during the conference, the first day, everyone was really stiff during the mixer. But by the last day of the conference, I felt like everyone was like best friends. They were like patting each other on the back and everything. And so that's the kind of atmosphere that I want for my conference. And the other thing is, because we're going to have different tracks for different levels, every session is going to be recorded. And you'll have access to all the videos after the fact. And, some conferences, they charge for the videos. I'm not really into nickel and diming at all. You'll get everything included with the ticket price, all the recordings. Okay, and so now I want to just take a quick moment to introduce some of the awesome speakers that I have lined up. The first speaker that I want to talk about is Scott Volker. Now, if you're selling on Amazon at all, chances are you've heard of Scott. He runs the Amazing Seller podcast. He is a 6-figure Amazon seller. And most importantly, Scott is actually an amazing teacher. If you guys have ever seen this guy speak, he's also an amazing speaker as well. I'm also going to have Greg Mercer. And once again, if you guys have sold on Amazon, chances are you've heard of Greg. He is the founder of Jungle Scout, which is the premier research tool for Amazon products online. He also sells on Amazon as well, and I think he does something like $500,000 per month. So he's a 7-figure Amazon seller, and he's just really, really good at finding niche products to sell online. Steve Weiss is someone who approached me to speak at the conference. He is the CEO of Mute6.com. And just keep in mind, I didn't know Steve until relatively recently. And we got to talking, and I'm very selective of my speakers. And so I went up to Steve and I said, hey, okay, show me what you got. He is a Facebook and Instagram ads expert. And so I showed him some of my Facebook campaigns, and he actually did a full critique of my Facebook campaigns and suggested ways that I could improve. And that just really impressed me. This guy really knows his stuff about Facebook, and he will teach us a whole bunch of new tactics if you want to grow your business using Facebook ads or Instagram ads online. Bill Alessandro is someone who I've known for a very long time. And what's funny is recently there was an article that came out, and he's actually known as the Procter & Gamble of North Carolina. And this is what the guy does. He is the owner of 6 7-figure e-commerce brands. And what he does is he acquires companies and then he improves them and usually doubles or triples their revenue within a year. And so Bill also knows a whole lot about tools. He's deep in the trenches of all of his brands, and he's just a great resource. Incidentally, one of the things that I've tried to do with my conference, there's conferences out there that are strictly Amazon and strictly online store. I tried to get the best of both worlds. So what you'll notice is for the different speakers that I'm going to be talking about today, some of them specialize in Amazon, and some of them specialize with their own online store, and some of them specialize in both. So you get a wide variety of different disciplines. Bernie Thompson, he is the CEO of Pluggable, which is an 8-figure Amazon-only store. He is also the founder of the software Efficient Era, and these are basically tools that he uses to manage his Amazon store. And he's just a really good speaker, a really good guy. I've had a chance to talk to him on several occasions. Dana Jean Zemus, she is actually someone who is in my mastermind group. And she is amazingly smart. So she is the CEO of Home Health Testing. She is a 7-figure store owner, and she's also a 7-figure Amazon business owner as well. So she has 2 separate businesses, and she is just one of the smartest people I know, very down to earth. And once again, she's really good at acquiring businesses and double and tripling their revenues within a year. She's really good at spotting the hot spots in a website or a business and figuring out how to improve it. Mike Jackness, if you were at Seller Summit last year, you probably met Mike. He didn't speak last year, but I convinced him to actually speak this year. He is the CEO of Color.com. And what's amazing about Mike is he's actually one of the most open-minded and intense people I know. He created a 7-figure business in just 4 months. He also runs the Ecom Crew podcast. But talk about being in the trenches. This guy does everything himself, and he has very low-level knowledge of everything. And so when he talks, he's an open book. He'll tell you his exact sales numbers. He'll talk to you about his exact tactics. He is just a very good teacher and so willing to help out. And so you'll love Mike when you meet him. Manuel Beckfar is someone who I've actually never met in person, but we've been in touch over the years, mainly because he lives in Asia. He is the founder of ImportDojo.com, and he is a product sourcing expert. And in fact, I've actually had Manuel source a couple of things for me. He really knows his stuff. Whether it comes to certifications or packaging, he is the man, and he will definitely be speaking at the conference. Susan Su is someone I met, I think either through Ramit Sethi or Noah Kagan. She is a partner at 500 Startups, which is a tech incubator. She's the head of marketing at Reforge.com, and she is an email marketing expert. I have seen her talk, and she really knows her stuff when it comes to email marketing. Rachel Miller is also someone who I met relatively recently. And what's amazing about Rachel, and I knew I wanted to have her as soon as I heard about her, she is a Facebook brand page expert. She's created multiple 1 million plus fan Facebook pages organically. And as you probably know, a lot of sales come from social media these days. And Rachel is just really amazing at creating a popular Facebook fan page and generating sales from it. She's really good at making things go viral. Daniel Solid, he was a speaker last year at the summit, did an awesome job where he outlined the exact steps that he uses to kind of launch his Amazon products online and make a lot of money. He's the CEO of Solid Strategic. He is a 7-figure Amazon seller. And what I like about Daniel, he's always on the cutting edge of new tools to be used to sell online. And finally, we have Brad Moss. And Brad is someone who I was very lucky to meet. He is actually the former head of Seller Central at Amazon.com, which means that he knows a lot of insider tips with how Amazon works. And because he was the lead project manager for Seller Central, He knows the insides and outs of Seller Central and all the different reports that you can generate and how everything works. He's the founder at productlabs.net, and he's also got a bunch of tools that he uses to help sell online. So I hope this got you guys a little bit excited. In addition to all the speakers that I mentioned above, we also have a lawyer, Jared Starks, who comes and answers all the law questions for the people who attend. We have Pam Kale, who answers all the shipping and logistics questions. And I forgot to mention Cynthia Stein also, who is an Amazon expert when it comes to not getting banned or getting reinstated on Amazon. And Cynthia, can provide a lot of insights on how to prevent your account from actually getting banned. So anyways, I hope all these speakers are getting you excited about coming to the summit. Once again, prices are going up on February 1st, 2017, which is, I believe, next Tuesday. So head on over to sellerssummit.com and grab your ticket. We're already sold out of all the VIP tickets, and as of right now, I believe there are only 4 mastermind tickets available. But also the regular mission tickets will sell out quickly. Last year, I believe they sold out completely in the middle of February. And once again, we purposely limit tickets because we want a small and intimate event. So hopefully I will see you guys there. It will be great to meet and hang out in person. Take care.